very much. My name is Gary Braley, and I'm here from the East Side Meals on Wheels program, which is not a strange program to many of you out here. I always appreciate the welcome that I get, and one of our slogans at Meals on Wheels is that we deliver them with a smile. Well, there is no bigger smile that I get than the one I receive from Kathy Halverson when I walk in here on a Sunday morning, and so I understand the value of a smile. We also understand and appreciate all the volunteers, including Kathy, including Joalice, all of your drivers, and anyone else out here who's able to make a contribution to our program, or who has made a contribution in the past. The recipients of our meals can't be here to thank you, so I'm doing it on their behalf. And the one thing that I want to make sure you know is that the Meals on Wheels program runs strictly as a nonprofit, local, charitable organization that will live and thrive based on support from the community that we live in. We're not a government program. We don't have any big corporation backing us. So it all depends on us. And we have hundreds of volunteers. Some are drivers, some are on the board, some do design t-shirts, some do all kinds of things. So we have a variety of things that we need. One thing I'd like to ask you to do is think for a minute about the people that you know who are maybe getting a little older, maybe they're neighbors, maybe they are friends, relatives, members of the congregation, and you look at somebody and you say, well, that person might be able to use a little help. You know, they're not as capable as they were of taking care of themselves. Could they use Meals on Wheels? Well, if you talk to somebody and you say, you know, I think Ethel needs some help, maybe we should get Meals on Wheels for her. And you talk to this person, and the first reaction, I can guarantee you, will be, no, I'm okay, you know, I can still cook, not a problem. I've been cooking for 50 years, you mean I don't think I can cook? Come on. So the first reaction is almost universally a rejection of the idea. What I would suggest that you could do is go back to a person like that in a week or two and say, did you think anything more about that Meals on Wheels thing I mentioned? By the way, I have a flyer here that I picked up back at the church here. It's got some more information. Maybe you'd like to look at that. So, well, okay, I'll look at it, but not right now. I'll look at it. So it is a long process for somebody to not be sold, but to decide that they could benefit from a service. The other services that were mentioned here this morning, the community services that are out there, are legion. And the problem is people don't know or don't understand how to get these services. So part of your job is to be the eyes and ears of the Meals on Wheels program to help find the people who need this kind of service. It does take time. It takes a couple of visits to talk to somebody about it before they might decide they could use it. One thing you always hear is, well, you know, I heard the meals were terrible. Who'd you hear that from? Well, my uncle, where does he live? Well, he died. He lived in Texas 20 years ago, and he thought the meals were terrible. So we do get rave reviews about our meals, and most people really do appreciate them. You can also tell your friend or family member that it's sort of like her burgers or pennies. If you start these meals and you don't like them, you can't actually take the meals back, but you can stop at the end of a week. So, you know, give it a try. It's not going to hurt. You know, you're not committing for the rest of your life. So these are all things that you can do to help educate people who might be in need of this kind of service. That's my main talk about how to bring new people in who need the service. There are some materials that I'm going to be leaving with Kathy for the back of the church back there, particularly a flyer that's written for potential clients. It says, here's some information about our service, the types of varieties of food we have, the choices we have, the scheduling options. So you need to know that to be able to pass that along. So feel free to pick up one of the flyers that I'll leave in the back. The second thing is, if anybody does want to make a contribution without working too hard, you can stop over at Culver's on Tuesday. We will have a Meals on Wheels table, and I'll be there to say hello to you at lunch or in the evening. And a percentage of the profits from Culver's that day goes to Meals on Wheels. Culver's is a very strong partner of ours, and they do a lot. They go out of their way to help us promote the program. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and thank you again for all the good work that you do.